Like many of us, I'm in shock and reeling and upset at this latest mass shooting in a Minneapolis Catholic school church. It's horrific, it's tragic, it's awful. We hate it, and we feel sorry for the ones left behind, the moms, the dads, those who are burying their loved ones, burying their own children. And whenever this happens, there are questions like, how could this have been prevented? How can this be prevented in the future? All of this. And those are good questions to ask. And some voices that in the media, those who have public voices, have said, look, we need more than thoughts and prayers. Don't just pray. We need to do something and make changes and have public policy. Then there are those who are reacting to those public comments who are saying, what are you saying? Are you against prayers? What do you have against praying for those who are suffering and grieving right now? And so, first off, people who believe in God, believe in prayer, they're not against prayers. We're not against prayers at all. I'm all for praying. I'm personally all for praying. The ones who are saying thoughts and prayers are not enough, that's true. The victims were literally praying when they got shot. They were in the middle of the worship service. And so those who are commenting on prayers are not saying, hey, don't pray. I'm sure there are some voices out there of people who don't believe in prayer, don't believe in God. That's not me. And the majority of those who are calling for more than thoughts and prayers, they're not saying don't pray. They're not saying I have something against prayers. They're saying prayers don't stop bullets. Lots of God's holy people were killed throughout the Bible. Lots of God's people throughout history have been killed. Jesus was saved from death in the story of Bethlehem, but then King Herod's soldiers came in and slaughtered the other Bethlehem boys under a certain age. So having faith, believing in God, practicing a religion, practicing the Christian faith, praying, these things don't shield us from physical harm. I wish they did. I really do. As a pastor, I would love if prayers stopped bullets. They don't. That's the reality. So no one's saying don't give thoughts. No one's saying don't give prayers. They're saying we need to give something more. Of course, we don't agree on what that something more is, and people debate, why are these mass shootings happening? And there are certain things that people will point to. They'll point and say, it's social media, it's drugs, it's alcohol, it's cell phones, or it's violent video games, or horror movies, or violent movies. I'm sure all these things influence behavior. Here's the thing. The United States has significantly more mass shootings than any other developed country. You may not want to hear that. That may be an inconvenient truth. Look it up. The U.S., which is my home, which I love, has way more mass shootings, according to research, than any other developed country. Canada, the UK, France, Germany have significantly fewer mass shootings than the U.S. And those countries also all have access to social media, alcohol, drugs, cell phones, violent video games, horror movies, violent movies. So how do other countries have a lower rate of mass shootings? Well, check this out. After a British gunman killed 16 people in 1987, that country banned semi-automatic weapons like those he had used. It did the same with most handguns after a 1996 school shooting. Now, we would balk at that. No way. But that country now has one of the lowest gun-related death rates in the developed world. In Australia, a 1996 massacre prompted mandatory gun buybacks. The rate of mass shootings went from once every 18 months to only one in the 26 years since. Canada also tightened gun laws after a 1989 mass shooting. So did Germany in 2002. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? New Zealand took the same steps in 2019. Why couldn't we do that? Norway took the same steps in 2021. Why couldn't the U.S. do that? We have to cherish our safety more than we cherish our guns. I'm not saying ban all guns in the U.S., but since the Columbine massacre on U.S. soil, there have been a total, over 400 school shootings in the United States. Not so in Canada, France, Denmark, the UK, Germany. Since 1999, 390,000 students have experienced gun violence at school. Since Sandy Hook, mass shootings have nearly tripled. Firearms are the leading cause of death for kids and teens in the U.S. And we had done something before. We can do it again. I looked up mass shootings in the UK this year. I found only 2. I looked up mass shootings in Canada this year. I found only 2. I looked up number of mass shootings in the United States. I found over 200. Over 200 according to the Gun Violence Archive as of the end of August. So we have significantly more mass shootings in the U.S. Well, you might say, America, love it or leave it. Well, I love it. I don't want to leave it, but I have kids in school. I have a daughter who's a teacher. I don't want them dead. And we did something a long time ago. In the U.S., we had a ban on certain assault weapons and high-capacity magazines from 1994 to 2004. It was part of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act. It prohibited the manufacture and sale of specific semi-automatic firearms and magazines holding more than 10 rounds. So we're not talking about banning all guns in the U.S. That's usually the knee-jerk reaction. What are you saying? Take my guns? No, not all. Just the kind that can kill a lot of people in a short time in mass shootings. You might say, well, guns don't kill people. People kill people. False. People with guns kill people. If that gun's sitting right there on the table, it's not hurting anybody. People with guns kill people. You might say, well, the shooter in Minneapolis was trans. A lot of these mass shooters are trans. That's not true. Here recently, there have been a few mass shooters who have identified as trans or non-binary. But if you look at 10 years of mass shootings in the U.S., you will find that by and large, mass shooters are biological males. So forget that scapegoat. So the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act prohibited the making and sale of certain, not all, but certain semi-automatic firearms and magazines holding more than 10 rounds. Great. And mass shootings was lower. Mass shootings in the U.S. were significantly lower. Unfortunately, that law included a sunset provision, meaning it expired after 10 years, and Congress did not pass legislation to renew it. Congress refused to pass legislation to renew the federal assault weapons ban. And therein lies the problem. Elected officials, the ones that get this cozy, cush job, getting a six-figure annual salary, not passing laws, not doing things to help us, the American people. Some have said, well, the solution is more armed security guards. We have armed security at banks. We have armed security in government buildings. We have armed security that guard our politicians. We should have armed security for our schools. Well, if that's what it takes, fine by me. But that's why certain people said after this latest shooting, don't just pray, let's do something. Many schools have fortified their security. They have locked all the doors around the school buildings. You can't get in the front door unless someone in the office sees you on the camera and identifies you and buzzes you in. But even that can go wrong. I'm all for more armed security. If that's what it takes, if we can't get our elected officials to pass laws that will keep us safer. You might think, oh, laws don't do anything. What's the point of laws? If someone wants to murder people, they don't look at laws. Come on. Well, if you look at a graph, when that firearm law expired, when the federal assault weapons ban expired and was not renewed by our wonderful politicians after 2004, what happened to the mass shooting rate in America? Did it go down? No, it went up. Look it up. Look up mass shootings since 2004 on your Google. You'll see it went up. So what happens is people, and this has been proven by a Chicago research, people buy weapons in states that have lax gun laws, and then they bring them into Chicago, New York, LA, St. Louis, Atlanta. That's what happens. That was found out through a Chicago research. So I don't care what we do, we gotta do something. And so the people out there who are saying, hey, you know what, thoughts and prayers, yeah, okay, whatever, but we need more than that. Those people who are saying that should not be attacked and vilified and ridiculed and mocked and said, what, you don't believe in God, huh? You don't believe in prayer, huh? One politician who I won't name, he said, why are you attacking people who want to pray for those who lost their lives while they were praying? No one's saying that. I'm all for thoughts. I'm all for prayers. I'm also in favor of policy and action that actually keeps us safe and secure. If prayers stopped bullets, there would be no need for bulletproof vests. And you know very well that we need more than prayers. I'm a firm believer in prayer. I pray more in 1 month than most politicians pray in a year. I guarantee you. I've seen miracles. I've seen the sick be healed right before my eyes with the laying on of hands and prayer. But you and I still lock our doors, our house doors, our home. We lock our doors to our apartments. We believe in borders, right? Border security, right? We believe in locking our car doors for a reason. Absolutely. Because the Bible doesn't say prayers stop bullets or prayers stop swords or prayers stop certain acts of violence. So I want to hear what you have to say down below in the comment section. And let's avoid the same old tired phrases, guns don't kill people, people kill people. People don't kill people. People do not kill people. People with weapons kill people. And if people are the problem, then I want to get the weapons out of their hands. Not all weapons. If Australia can do it, if Britain can do it, if Canada can do it, if Germany can do it, if New Zealand and Norway can do it, we can too. We had a ban on semi-automatic weapons before. We should have it again, or armed security. Something. But we didn't have armed security guards in schools when you and I went to school. But right now there are more civilian-owned guns in the U.S. than there are civilians. So it's not the drugs or the alcohol or the scary movies or the John Wick movies or the video games. And all these countries that have fewer mass shootings, they have all these things. Well, it's a mental health issue. Really? Is that it? Well, then let's vote for politicians who will increase access and funding for mental health resources. The problem is we have politicians who keep saying it's a mental health problem, not guns. Those same politicians will vote for bills that are passed into laws that actually cut funding from mental health resources. So they can't have it both ways. They can't say out of one side of their mouths, it's not guns, it's a mental health problem. And then on the other side of their mouths, they say, well, we have to pass this bill, even though it does cut funding from mental health resources, because we gotta cut expenses. We have to cut expenses. We can't afford to anymore. So give your thoughts, give your prayers, but also give action, something. Public policy, armed security guards, bring back assault weapon ban, something to keep our children, our teenagers, our teachers, our public safe. Thank you for watching. God bless. Keep the faith. Go in peace and love your life.